Hey there, glad you're here tonight. I want to share a little story that stuck with me, and maybe, if we're lucky, it'll stick with you too. Folks around here call it The Boy Who Couldn't Focus and the Bow That Changed His Mind. So, once upon a time, there was this kid named Ryan, bright as can be. Everybody said he had potential, and he did. His dream was huge. He wanted to become a doctor someday. But he had a problem, and not the kind a smart brain could fix. His mind was restless. Every time he sat down to study, it slipped away. To his phone, to YouTube, to daydreams about nothing in particular. He'd say, I've got time, I'll study later. But later has a funny way of not showing up. One day, he flunked a scholarship exam. He had pinned his hopes on that one. Thought it would make the road to becoming a doctor just a little smoother. When the results came out, his friends had done great. He hadn't. That sting of disappointment ran deep. He wasn't dumb, and he knew it. He just hadn't been able to rein his mind in that night. Sitting alone, he whispered to himself, I've got to change. I need to train this mind of mine. So he went looking for help and found Coach Miller, a PE teacher with a reputation. Folks said Coach Miller didn't just teach push-ups and laps. He taught kids how to focus, how to tame themselves a little. Ryan went to him and admitted, Coach, my mind jumps everywhere. How do I make it stop? The old coach didn't scold him. Instead, he walked him out to the schoolyard and brought along a toy bow and arrow. He set up a target board and said, Go ahead, show me your focus, hit that bullseye. But first, tell me, what do you see right now? Ryan looked around and said, Well, I see the board, but also the trees, the grass, the sky, kind of everything. Coach Miller just nodded and said, That's your trouble right there. You're looking at everything. A good archer, he only sees the target, nothing else. Your mind, Ryan, is just like this arrow. If it's tugged toward every distraction, it never lands where it's supposed to. Ryan got the point, but he asked, So, where do I start? And Coach Miller, with that patient grin of his, gave him a few simple rules. Anchor your mind. Every time it wanders, bring it back gently. Build yourself a routine. Decide when you'll work and when you'll rest. Clear away distractions before you begin. And above all, practice, day after day. Little by little, Ryan took it to heart. At first, it was rough. His mind fought him like a wild horse bucking at the reins. But bit by bit, he found his rhythm. Hours stretched longer. His focus steadied. A few months later, he sat another exam. This time, he didn't just pass. He came out on top, and standing on stage with his scholarship in hand, he whispered to himself, It wasn't talent that brought me here, it was discipline. Now, here's where the story turns into a mirror for the rest of us. We like to think being smart is enough. Truth is, smarts without discipline scatter like marbles on a hardwood floor. What matters is where you aim that energy. The mind, left on its own, will drag you around like a runaway horse, but trained, guided, it'll carry you straight to where you want to go. And don't be fooled into thinking discipline shows up overnight. It doesn't. Ryan didn't just flip a switch and suddenly become focused. He built it with small, steady habits, day after day. Even science backs that up. Routines and environments shape us more than raw willpower does. When motivation runs out, it's those little systems that keep us going. And here's a neat trick. Before you start a tough task, picture how good it'll feel when it's finished. That feeling of relief, of pride, bring it forward into the moment. It has a way of pulling you through, because at the end of the day, motivation's nice. But it comes and goes. Discipline is what sticks around when motivation takes a nap. You don't always feel like showing up, but if you've built the right habits, you'll still move forward, even on the days when you'd rather not. So let me leave you with a few questions. What's your target board? The one thing you want to hit, no matter what. And when distractions creep in, and they always do, can you whisper to yourself, "Not now, this moment's for my goal"? And what's one tiny habit you could start today that nudges you toward more focus, more clarity? You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's asking you to turn into a monk by sunrise. Just begin one arrow, one focus session, one choice at a time. Ryan's story reminds us that success isn't reserved for people born disciplined. It's built, step by step, redirect by redirect. And that's something all of us can do. So as you drift off tonight, remember, be patient with yourself. Keep nudging that mind of yours back to the target, and keep moving, one quiet, steady step at a time.